Well, good afternoon. I'm Daryl Brewer, the Economic Development Manager here at the Fort Worth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, and I want to welcome you to another State of Your Business webinar. Today, we're going to talk about part 2 of education and training after high school graduation. But before we get to that, we're going to go to the legend, Mr. Bob Ray Sanders. Are you there, Bob Ray?
I am here. Thank you very much, sir. Do have a few announcements. I want to start out with the fact that we will be having our annual luncheon this year, which was postponed last year because of COVID-19. It'll be partially virtual, partly in-house, but most of you will see it virtually, and you'll be seeing more information about that on our Facebook page and on our website. But it's June 25th, save the date. It's at noon. In person will be at the Hilton Hotel in downtown Fort Worth. As I said, we'll be getting you information about how you can watch it virtually. We're excited because the speaker is somebody who's very close to what the chamber has been doing this year and trying to get in touch with bankers. This guy is owner of the only national Black bank in Texas and Georgia. But he's more than that. I mean, he's into oil, he's into refining, he's into all kinds of activities. One of the richest Black men in America, coming up from Houston. He's originally from Nigeria. His name is Dr. Case L. Lawal, and he will be speaking on the topic, banking relationships in times like these. And I know many of our members and our supporters have had difficulty dealing with banks, and particularly trying to get loans and things like that. We've been trying to get more Blacks on bank boards here in Fort Worth and North Texas. So Dr. Lawal will be here noon Friday. It'll last until about 1:15. So plan your lunch on that day to hear Dr. Lawal. Also, I just got this in, Daryl, the Workforce Solutions of Tarrant County is co-hosting a virtual job fair, and that's going to be on June 30th from 9 to 2 p.m. It's co-sponsored by all the chambers, the Fort Worth Chamber, the Black Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and Fort Worth ISD, and Visit Fort Worth. So this job fair, you'll be able to get information about the businesses that are hiring, as well as express interest in job openings until July 2nd. So we'll put this on our Facebook page as well, so you can register for that job fair, June 30th, 9 to 2 p.m. Also, as usual, on the third Tuesday of every month, thanks to Daryl, you'll be hosting the Next Level Entrepreneurial School, which is an interactive 2-hour workshop with learning skills in marketing, digital marketing, accounting, bookkeeping, all those things that a new business and an existing business need to know. That is every third Tuesday at 7 p.m. Again, that information is on our website and on our Facebook page. And the second Thursday of every month, we host Let's Get Connected. That is a networking event, and this month is still going to be held virtually. Hopefully next month it will be in person, but that's at 7 p.m. Tune in, get to meet some people who are doing some of the things you're doing, or doing some things that you want to know more about. But it's a good way to meet some other people who are very active in our community. So those are the announcements I have there.
All right, Bob Ray. Well, thank you for giving us that information. And we were looking at getting outside on a patio or something for Let's Get Connected, but y'all, Texas done did the Texas thing already. It stopped raining and it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot. So I was thinking about the patio because, you know, none of us, we still not that comfortable with all this inside stuff, with Rona still around, kind of close out there. So that's why we were looking at doing a type of patio situation. So I guess we'll regroup now that it's 90 some odd degrees and humid is like we in Houston.
Yeah.
So we
Indeed.
will regroup and find us a place on the inside. We're coming from 1150 South Freeway, which is the Business Assistance Center, which is owned by the city of Fort Worth. It's a place where you can come and get help, assistance with growing your business, with starting a business, with growing your business, with getting money for your business. So, of course, in this building, we have not only the 4th Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, but the Tarrant Small Business Development Center. We have the Regional Hispanic Contractors Association, SCORE, which provides mentors. We have 3 funding agencies that can start funding you anywhere from $5,000 or $10,000 up to like $12 million. And then if you really got it going on like Mucinex, you can get some folks next door on the same campus, by the way, to give you some millions so you can become a gazillionaire. How about that? That is through the Fort Worth Angels. So come on down, and there's a great number of people here to help you grow and thrive with regards to your business. You know, business people tend to be, entrepreneurs tend to be loners, but you don't have to. You really don't have to dig it out all by yourself. There is assistance. And I know sometimes we're around people who are flaky, but there are other business people who are not flaky that are willing to help you take your business to another level. So we want to encourage you to come and participate. If you'd like to join the 4th Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, you can go to our website at www.fwmbcc.org, www.fwmbcc.org, and click on membership. It'll drop down and you can join. If you have less than 50 employees, it's $200, not $200 a month, but $200 a year. Can't beat that with a stick. And what do you get? You get us working on your behalf every day. Well, that's one of the unique things about the Chamber compared to other Black organizations out there. We have a full-time staff, and that staff is out working on your behalf every day, really 7 days a week, to tell you the truth about it, because we're behind the scenes attending meetings that have to do with your business while you at work, while you're at sleep. We're attending those meetings and we're bringing up your concerns while you're doing that. We also, again, have the networking opportunities, as well as if you want to get connected to a particular business or a particular person, we can help make that happen. Because we got relationships all over Fort Worth, for sure, and even the Metroplex. So with that, we're going to open it up and get to and invite our other guests to the podium, if you will, to the virtual podium. And her name is Latoya Foster. Latoya, hello. Are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Well, welcome to the show. And I'm going to get started by just giving you the opportunity to just tell us about your business. You know, if you want to go on for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 15 minutes, the floor is now yours.
Actually, there are 3. It's just combined. I think people just like really look at like the phlebotomy part, the school, the trade school. But before it was the trade school in 2017, I started Blessed Hands mobile healthcare. And that's where we go out mobilely and we have contracts with doctors, assisted living facilities, people that just have had bad experiences going into the lab with blood draws. So we go out to them in the comfort of their home. So we still have that. So that was started in 2017. Then we have Blessed Hands CPR, where we we can come to you mobily and do perform CPR, or
And
you
give me
can come
CPR
into
if I'm not feeling good.
Yes. Yes. Or you can come to our facility if you're in need of your CPR certification. And as of a year ago, we started Blessed Hands Phlebotomy. That's Texas Workforce, a Texas Workforce Commission accredited trade school and college. So we've actually started out with phlebotomy certification. You can come and get your phlebotomy certification if you want to be a phlebotomist, certified phlebotomist, or you can get your EKG, your electrocardiogram technician. That's the person that puts the electrodes on the heart and we monitor the heart. We have those classes offered, and we have IV workshops, phlebotomy workshops. Currently, we're working on a medical assistant program, and down the line, it'll be more trades offered.
Well, that sounds like a good number right there.
Thank you. We're trying.
All right. Well, gosh, do you know how many students that went through your facility or your programs well, 2020 might not be a good year to say, but 2020 or 21, do you have an idea?
20.
How many graduated, I guess, would be that question.
Well, because we have so many, we have an evening class. So we'll have technically about 40, 45 in the program. So maybe like 200 so far.
So far what? So far in 2020 or 2021? What?
2021.
Time out. So you're saying to me that you've graduated.
I'll give you the exact number.
I mean, you don't have, 200 good. You're telling me that you've graduated 200 folks in some form of the medical field, whether it's phlebotomy or EKG, heart people, etc.
Yes.
Girl, what you talking about? Congratulations. I mean, for real though.
Thank you.
No, for real though. Because I think that's pretty outstanding.
I know.
That's why you be smiling. You know, black folks don't count your money, right?
It's done from the heart, because I'm very passionate about it. Actually, it wasn't supposed to be. Again, I don't really care to speak, so I never thought I was going to be an instructor. I'm more of the mobile healthcare in and out kind of person. And it wasn't until I actually went into a trade school myself and seen some incorrect things that I decided to open one up.
Let's see, I was wanting to get to that. Okay, but before you got to the trade school, give me a step or two back.
Okay.
And tell me what caused you or inspired you to go into, I'm going to say, the medical field in and of itself.
The medical field, they hired me. I didn't know anything about drawing blood. I just knew in 1999 I wanted something completely different, because my daughter was young, and so I applied for this company called Carter Blood Care, and I love them to death. I owe everything to them, and they hired me, and they took me and they trained me on how to draw blood, and I worked my way all the way up there to actually a coordinator. But when I left to go work for my doctor that I previously used to work for, I didn't know anything about, I knew how to hook a patient up on the machine and get their platelets and all that, but I didn't know anything about lab until I actually started working for my doctors. And hematologists, they're cancer doctors, and they deal with special blood disorders, sickle cell, lymphoma, and all that kind of stuff. So that's where, actually, they taught me everything I know. Everything I know. I went to school to be a med tech up under them, so I can run the machines that are behind me, so I can do testing on blood work, on urine, on pap smears. I can do all that. And I worked for them for 16 years, and I still do now. I go out mobily for them.
Wow. So, I mean, I want to slow down on certain things because I just don't want it to be lost on the audience.
Okay.
You started out and didn't know nothing about nothing, kind of, sort of, right?
No, not at all.
And the great people at Carter Blood Care, come on in here, child. You don't know anything, that's all right. We can train you.
Yes. Yes.
And so they trained you, and then from there, you got another opportunity to go to work for a doctor's office or some doctors, and it just expanded your world for 16 years, even more so. Okay, wow, that's just important. People, we really have to understand that in this age, people so much believe in overnight success. Video world, microwave world. So, that's 16 years just in that one spot to prepare you.
Yeah.
Okay. Besides the time that you spend at Carter Blood Care. So that sounded like 18, 20 years. I don't know. Right there.
22.
All right.
Yeah.
So now you got all this experience behind you so that you know how things are supposed to be.
Right.
And so you went into a school that we're going to not name, get me sued. And you thought, well, that ain't right.
That's not right.
And then what did you decide? What happened then?
I said, that's not right. And then I looked at my niece and I said, how much are you paying for this? And she told me how much she was paying for that. And I was like, it does not cost that much to teach phlebotomy. It shouldn't be that expensive to teach phlebotomy and certify people. And then you're not learning the way you should be learning. It's taught incorrectly. So that kind of like lit a fire up under me, so to speak. So then I started, I just had Google. So I didn't have anybody that guided me. Oh, sure, let me help you, show you how to open up a career trade school. I did it all by myself, me and Google. And I had to Google who I needed to go through. I had to Google the necessary steps. My representative at the Texas Workforce Commission, her name's Lisa, and she actually has helped me out a lot because I didn't know nothing. I just knew that's what I wanted to do. And I do whatever I needed to do to train people the right way. That's all I knew.
Well, that is, I have to commend you on, that's a pretty remarkable story. It really is. And so really good for you.
Thank you.
So that's how you got started now. And you offer, let's go back through and kind of really slow down a little bit and tell me about each one of because we're focusing here on this is training after high school. Because folks are graduating, except if you're in Fort ISD, you ain't graduating.
And you can be 16 I have a 16-year-old in my phlebotomy class, and her mother actually emailed me twice, and then she called me twice. So you can be the age of 16 and start off into some pretty good careers here.
Well, when people talk about summer jobs, well, there you go.
Right.
So phlebotomy is one. And what is that? That's just, my niece does that. So I know that's blood drawing.
It's not just blood drawing.
That's why you got to talk about it. 'Cause
See,
What
when
else?
people say just drawing blood, we do a lot more than that when they come in here. They actually, when they come in and sit down, they think it's just about drawing blood and being a good sticker, but being a phlebotomist is not, it's about you being a good sticker, but it's about that patient having good blood results, because you have to know how to handle the tubes in order to get the patient some good blood results. If not, you'll alter their results and they could be erroneous. So you can give somebody high cholesterol, that cholesterol is just fine. You can give
See,
somebody.
that's what I've been trying to tell my doctor.
So it's not about, it is about us, but it's more about that patient and how we handle and treat their specimens. That's what phlebotomy is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the next? That's phlebotomy. What else you offer?
We offer EKG, electrocardiogram technician. That's where if you're going to the emergency room because maybe you've had a panic attack, you've had a heart attack, you've had a stroke, we're the person that's hooking you up to the machine to test you.
All that tape stuff. I saw somewhere you're supposed to be able to put that on yourself at home and test something. I don't know.
I hope not.
I think it was a sleep study, actually.
Yes, we can work in sleep apnea clinics.
Y'all can who?
We can work in sleep apnea clinics.
Because you testing. It's kind of the same setup.
That's us. And matter of fact, we work directly up under the cardiologist because there are not many nurses that can actually read an EKG.
You sure I need that? Because I see people, I got the iPhone thing. I'm not an eye person, Apple person, but they say they can see how they sleep and everything with their little wrist thing. They don't need all that. What you say to that?
They probably can. It's not going to give them if they're having a heart attack or if they're having heart blockage, or it'll just tell them what their heart rate is, maybe.
You can tell somebody got heart blockage?
Yes.
Well, how come we don't get this every time we go to the doctor?
I don't know, but my grandfather, he's 92. He stays with me. And like a month ago, he was short of breath, and we had to call the ambulance and everything. And when we got there, the doctor, she was talking to a student about the EKG. So then I was like, is that a 2nd degree heart block? And she turned around and looked at me like, how do you know that? And she was like, well, in fact, it is. And I was like, well, what are we going to do to address that? Let's address that and the high blood pressure. So yeah, when you come in here, you're taught how to actually read the EKG. You can tell if they're having atrial fibrillation, if they're having ventricular fibrillation, if they're having a 1st degree, 2nd degree, 3rd degree heart block, all of that we teach. Mm-hmm.
So you can see it. I'm looking at this kind of as a preventative maintenance, not after you done fill out kind of thing.
Right.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, I don't have no insurance for you, and I'm not a doctor, but I would say they need to hook me up if you're over a certain age or a certain weight, they ought to hook you up every time you go in there.
My mom comes in here and she gets hers done a lot, just as preventative maintenance. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, yeah.
Okay, EKG. What else you got?
We have IV certification. Yes, phlebotomists can start IVs as well. And yes, I'm not a nurse, but I can teach you. I can teach nurses how to start IVs.
Okay.
So we have that. We have our drug screener certification, where if you want to, we're phlebotomists. So when we have people walking through our doors that come in, everybody's going back to work. So they're needing pre-employment drug screens. So we're the person behind that's taking care of that chain of custody form, and we're getting everybody back to work. We have Department of Transportation, drug screens. What else? We have workshops for if you're thinking about becoming a phlebotomist or trying to get into the medical field and you're not sure, you can come in here and with us, and we'll take you through a workshop.
Okay, so how much money I make once I become a flea phlebotomist or EKG specialist? Whatever.
Phlebotomists, they can make it's really
Give me-
dependent on
give me-
how you put in the work.
Give me start out pay.
Okay.
Start out in max. Pay,
Start
maybe.
out pay when they leave here, because they leave with the knowledge of being a phlebotomist 2. They skip over a phlebotomist 1. They know everything I know. So everybody that has gotten a job, they've went in at a phlebotomist 2, and they've actually started around $17 or $18 an hour.
All right.
Because I do their resumes. They're not the only ones that's going around looking for a job. In fact, around the 4th week, it's a 5-week course. So around the 4th week, we sit down and we get on LinkedIn, because most of them aren't on any kind of professional social media sites. So we get them on LinkedIn. I get everybody's resumes. I look over them, I edit them, and then I completely redo them. That's done by me.
All right. EKG, how much money I'm gonna make when I come out of it? Can I do that separately? Does it stand on its own? That's what I'm.
Yes.
I know. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, that's a more prominent field. You get a little bit more pay. So if you're a telemetry technician and you're working actually in the hospital for those 12 hours, 3 days, you're going to get like $18, $19 an hour. But if you're in a doctor's office and you're actually that multi-skilled technician that they need, because the lab is the most important part of the doctor's office, I'm gonna throw that in there, then they normally make about 50 or 60.
50 or 60 what?
A year.
Oh, okay. So that's more like $25 an hour.
Yeah.
All right. I thought you were talking about 50, 60 an hour. And I was about to leave.
And then if you're a mobile phlebotomist, where you're going out mobilely like we do, you normally get started out with about 18 to 20, then you get paid mileage and so forth. Then if you're a contracted phlebotomist like we are, then we get paid by the person that we touch.
So that contract is for y'all out there, that means you own your own business.
Right.
So you get the gross amount of money, but don't forget about, you got to subtract out expenses. But
yes,
that's learning the business. That's good. All right. I think that's most of my questions. Somebody wanted, I'm gonna ask Bob Ray if he would ask you some questions that he might have, but someone wanted to know because we didn't tell us where you are, contact information, that sort of thing. Even though I know you're not in Fort Worth.
No, we actually have 3 locations. One is in Arlington. We're at we're right there in between 2 exits down from Fort Worth.
You was in Fort Worth and then you moved to Arlington. I already know.
I still live in Fort Worth. We're at 5620 Southwest Green Oaks Boulevard, suite number C. Arlington, our zip code is 76017.
And the phone number there?
817-765-2140.
How about y'all got a website?
We do. It's www.blessedhands.phleb, PHLEB for phlebotomy, but PHLEB.net.
All right. And then, I don't know nothing about this, but people say, what's your Instagram?
I don't know. Blessed Hands. Blessed Hands. I think it's Blessed Hands Phlebotomy.
So while Bob Ray is getting ready, go ahead and when you get a chance, just type that information into the chat. Can you see that? How to do that? So people can get it. And I'm being, get the 8-year-old to help you out with the Instagram stuff.
Okay, it is Blessed Hands Phlebotomy. And then on Facebook, we're Blessed Hands Phlebotomy.
All right. Bob Ray, legend. You have any questions?
Yeah, just a couple. So, and you've already answered one that was on the screen, but let me go back to, you said, I think for the is it EKG Technician? It's a 5-week course?
Yes.
Are all of the courses 5 weeks, or are
Yes.
they different?
They're all,
Okay.
well, EKG Technician is 4 weeks, but I normally carry them over because if they're not getting, because we have to learn in depth about the heart, the chambers, the valves, everything. So if they're not, if I feel like they need an extra week, then I give them an extra week.
And then when you say a week, how many hours a day are we talking about?
We do 3. So we're EKG class is Tuesday, Thursdays, and it's from 6 to 9 p.m.
Wow, that's a short period of time to get all that information in. So you must be a good teacher.
I am.
Oh, okay. I was wondering though, because I think you said people come in, are they actually working on patients as you're training?
Because we have a mobile healthcare, because I have a mobile healthcare company, and we do, I don't like because if they're in here now, then they just get comfortable with the same students. Oh, these are, I'm comfortable with her because her veins are easy. So we go out, because I have a couple of doctor's offices that I'm contracted with, and we go in there on certain days. They go in there with us on certain days. So now, guess what? You're going to run your whole laboratory, and you're going to experience different kind of lab draws. So I challenge them a lot more. You need to, now let's challenge ourselves to pick it up. You have to be challenged, because you have to know how to tackle those hard veins, not just the easy ones. My son, he's 8. He knows how to stand up there and stick.
Oh, really?
Oh, he does. But it's how you handle your patient and what you do when the things after you insert that needle into that vein. If you miss, I don't want you fishing, because when you're fishing, you're making you can make that patient sick, and you're activating platelets that they don't know about. So you probably already clotting, you're messing the whole blood flow up. So how you make simple adjustments, and all of that stuff, and how you don't just take the needle out and re-stick the patient, because that's an inconvenience. If it's something so simple, all you have to do is pull back or something like that.
Right. And I've been there where somebody didn't know what they were doing about trying to draw blood.
Yeah.
And I have a sister who's a nurse, and I remember during her training, she had to practice injections with an orange. I'll never forget that. So
they do that here, except for technologies. I mean, it's a lot better. We just have the straps, and we put them around the arms and everything like that. Yeah.
Okay, and the prerequisites for getting into the program, you said people as young as 16.
16, you have to have the consent of your parent, but you have to be at least 16, high school diploma, GED, transcripts, whatever you have, and your ID, driver's license.
Okay, and what's the cost? I mean, how do they pay for this?
The cost for the phlebotomy program is $850. The only thing that you do is pay your $150 up front, and that's your registration fee. That kind of like secures your seat. And then after that, you can make affordable payments within the 5 weeks that you're there.
Okay, and I would guess, I mean, can some get federal program money for?
Yes.
So, can you help them get through that?
We're actually vendors for the Texas workforce.
Oh, okay.
And we're vendors for, the WIA, and we're vendors for the Texas Workforce Rehabilitation Program, and we're a vendor for somewhere else with the Texas workforce, but I don't remember. I can't say that off front. But because we're not a big college or trade school. Now those big college or trade schools, they cost $9,000 for you to become a medical assistant. And so you pay half of that, and then you're going to pay it all back when you get a grant anyway. we're smaller trade schools where there's some trade schools out there that actually, it's one that I know of that has a really good medical assistant program, and she only charges $1,900, and then they can pay it out as they go. So you're leaving debt free. Whereas if you go to one of those larger trade schools, you're leaving with debt.
Right. And what about the breakdown in gender, males and females? Are there more women getting into these programs or more men?
I've had both, actually. I just graduated a couple of male students as well. And I got some males that are getting ready to be enrolling, but it's mostly 80% women. Yes.
Okay.
And I've had male.
And in your recruiting, do you normally do it through the high schools or just as you're doing now, just getting the word out?
Just as I'm doing now, getting the word out. Fort Worth has made it kind of hard I wanted to start offering it here. We're working on offering it in the high schools in Lubbock because we have a facility out there, and they're making it a little bit more easier, but Fort Worth they're making it hard.
Wait a minute, this is where we come in.
Okay, so yeah, do we need to talk to the superintendent or what?
Explain, Lucy, explain.
Yeah,
we may not want to throw them under the bus, but what do you think is the challenge or the difference between, I'm sorry, Barbara, I jumped in on that, but between here in Fort Worth and in Lubbock, because, they're actually, somebody told me some crazy numbers, like 24 independent school districts in the city of Fort Worth or something. So maybe one of those other ones might be easier. So tell us, what are the challenges that you think that you're finding?
That they already have their the programs that they want in their schools.
Several of the school districts do have vocational quote programs.
And they're stuck on those vocational programs.
Okay.
Oh, so what you're saying is they don't want what you got.
Right. Like their minds aren't open. I feel, because I feel like this is both, and even I'm actually going to class myself for X-ray technician, so I can then offer it in my program, but I have to go through that first. And I think that all of these, there's no, this is just in my opinion, the medical field is great. We're essential. No doctor can order anything for a patient. That means they can't order an X-ray, they can't order an MRI, they can't do anything to that patient without having blood work done first. Hence on that need for that phlebotomist, that need for that EKG technician, because if that EKG technician is having a heart attack, you have to do two things together. You have to do the EKG and you have to draw what we call do blood work. We have to draw a troponin level. So there's the need. And I don't know. I just don't think that their minds are open.
Well, I'm committing right here, right now, to help you get involved in some of the school districts locally. And I'm not going to call anybody's name out. But y'all know we connected. So we'll just, because the Fourth Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce is about economic development. That means helping people make money. And if you're telling me that I like to estimate in 8 weeks, less than 8 weeks, someone can walk into a job making $16, $17, $18 an hour.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, if you're geared to becoming that nurse, or if you're geared to becoming that med tech working in the lab, if you're geared to becoming those things medically moving up, guess what? The hospitals pay for you to go. If you're working at the hospital, they'll pay for that for you. They'll pay for you to become a nurse. They'll pay for that. And all you have to do is just work for them for 2 or 3 years and you don't have any debt because they pay for it. So it's a lot of opportunities to just move up. You may not want to stay a phlebotomist. You may want to become that nurse or that anesthesiologist, technician, or whatever. But the hospitals, they pay for it. They offer those classes.
Right. I remember that from 30 years ago,
Yeah.
that they were doing that sort of thing before, because there was two tracks that were really prevalent back then, where if you wanted to be a registered nurse, you could go through a university and get your degree, or you can go to like a 2-year program, 18-month, 24-month program, and still have to be the same RN, except one had a bachelor's degree and the other one didn't.
Right.
But now I think that's kind of been a shift more so but in reality,
yeah.
So, and the other benefit I see that if someone goes through the short course that you're talking about and they want to stay on that track, hey, if you got to work and go to school, let's say you're not even in the hospital, but you still got to pay bills while you're in the process of going to school. Maybe you're a mother, et cetera. So you're not making $8 an hour. You're making $17, $16, $18 an hour, and while you go through the process before you get the big dollars as an RN or nurse practitioner or some such.
Right.
Barbara, did I steal your thunder? You got others questions?
No, I just want to say, because I know the Forward School District would say that they do have schools of choice that are open to students from all over the district. In specialties, and one is in healthcare. And I'm not sure which campus it's located on, but I'm sure that's one of the programs you're talking about that, okay, we got a program.
Barbara, look at her eyes.
I'm seeing
look at her eyes.
I'm seeing yours too.
Her eyes are like.
But I'm sure Dr. Scribner would say that. So I'm just, in case he's listening.
Her eyes are
saying.
So we're
but
gonna,
no, Daryl, those are all the questions that I have.
So Latoya, let's talk offline about this.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, my phone number is 817-871-6558. 817-871-6558. That's the number here at the chamber. My email address is dbrewer@fwmbcc.org. That's DBREWER @fwmbcc.org. Because we got Everman ISD, and we have a lot of African Americans that are involved in these school districts as well. So Everman ISD, Crowley ISD are two that I can think of off the top of my head. And so we just need to get her done.
Yeah.
Let me see. Barbara, did you tell me that's all the questions that you had?
Yes, sir.
Nothing else in the box. They asked about the price, which is amazing, I have to say, because typically the prices that I see on things that I've just run across are, $5,000 or some such.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you might be leaving money on the table. I'll let your boy, let's talk. You ain't got to go that high.
But a lot of those programs are depending on federal grants to pay for it, not the student. And so they've got a whole departments that just deal with the grant situation. So they're more getting people enrolled so they can get the grant than they are getting the students educated.
Right.
So that's commentary coming from me.
And then meanwhile, we're stuck with the back end of that debt.
Exactly.
Exactly. I know. I'm one of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm one of them.
We're gonna work on that. All right. So, Latoya, is there anything that you feel like we haven't covered that you want to get out to potential students, parents, or governments, quasi-governments, businesses, what have you?
No, I would like to say that I put a something up on my Facebook page before, early this morning, that I get a lot of calls about, and that's where a trade school or a school, not a trade school, has ripped them off, or they can't find a job, they can't, because they don't have the right certification. Their certification is not they're not Texas Workforce accredited. So I like to educate people that no matter where you go, just whatever trade school you decide to go get a trade from, go to the TexasWorkforce.com and look up that school to make sure that they have those accreditations behind their name. If not, then you're not going to an accredited trade school or college, and your job, the job that you're trying to get, may not honor those certifications. You have to put in the work. If you want to be a trade school, we went through a lot of paperwork. And each time we open up one, we have to go through a lot of paperwork with TWC to put in, to make sure that we're giving everybody valuable education. In fact, when they leave out of the program, we have letters to send out to the students to say, hey, did you get a job? Recall hours. What's going on? Most of them are working, but we still do those things, and we have to do those things. The workforce requires us to do that. So if they're going to a school and just paying money, they need to go on the website and make sure it's an accredited school.
Yeah, because for one, Texas, like some of the grants that Texas Workforce will provide, if it's not, you haven't got your I's dotted or your T's crossed, they're not going to fund you that money.
Right.
So.
Right. And they will. You have to just go through whatever their requirements are and whatever their program is, you have to go through it and just stay the course. If you stay the course, they're going to pay for your entire education.
Which can be life-changing.
It is life-changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to, on behalf of the Fort Metropolitan Black Chamber of Commerce, thank you for joining us today on our State of Your Business webinar. You were delightful and full of great information, and I'm looking forward to other people coming and viewing this video later. Parents, uncles, aunties, grandparents, viewing it and getting their children and grandchildren, et cetera, involved in training after high school.
And it's never too late. I've had adults that were 60, that were 50, come in and they wanted to change into the medical field. They came in and got certifications and they're working. So it's never too late to start a new journey. Never.
Well, there you go. It seems like we have a new message, Johnny. What is it trying to tell me?
Yeah, they're asking if she would put it in writing, her contact information in the contact.
In the chat box down there?
Yes.
Yeah.
You see that? Okay. And with that, I'm going to hand it back to Bob Ray, and he can give us our announcements again. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Latoya.
Thank you, Mr. Bob Ray, the legend.
Yeah.
He goes, don't you start.
Okay, well, just briefly, let me go through these announcements quickly one more time. Again, our annual luncheon is set for June 25th. Dr. Case L. Lawal, one of the richest Black men in America. He's in oil, imports, engineering, banking, chairman of the board of Unity Bank, the only national bank Black-owned in Texas and Georgia. He will be here on June 25th at noon to speak on banking relationships in times like these. Most of you will see it virtually. We'll have a handful of people who will be in the building with us when we do this, but because of COVID and all those restrictions, you'll get the virtual information on our Facebook page and on our website soon. So stay tuned for that. We have networking every second Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. That's the Let's Get Connected networking. It will be done virtually again. this month or was done this month. But listen, it's up to you to get involved, try to reach out to other people, and we try to give you that opportunity. That's 7 p.m. every second Thursday. Every third Tuesday is our next level entrepreneurial school. It's a 2-hour interactive workshop teaching learning skills in marketing, digital marketing, accounting, bookkeeping, income, that's profit and loss statements, budgeting, bids, quotes, all of those things that you need to know about starting a business or keeping a business running well. 7 p.m. every third Tuesday. And again, this from the Workforce Solutions, they are conducting a virtual job fair on June 30th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. You're asked to get involved with that. So go to the Workforce Solutions website and you can learn out all about that job fair. And with that, Daryl, that does it for me.
All right, Bob Ray. Ask that everyone will govern themselves according with the church announcements. We appreciate you for joining in today on the state of your business. Appreciate Latoya Foster for coming in and telling us about her business. And it really is a great opportunity. This is part 2. We'll do part 3 because we're going to have Tarrant County College on not next week, but the following Thursday. So Tarrant County College, they will be here to talk about their opportunities with the various skills and trades that they have available. And next week, we're going to skip a little bit, but we're going to go to Trinity Metro. Trinity Metro, we're going to be here and they're going to talk about their app and how you can get around on Trinity Metro if you need to go to college or where have you, with the zip zones that competes with Uber. You got the TRE train. And so many of you may be very comfortable with riding mass transit here locally. I personally am not. And every time I try to figure out how to do something, I fail miserably. So maybe if you're like me, this will be an opportunity for you to grow and learn how you can get around if you need to use mass transit or you'd like to use it. And then, of course, I'm also going to talk to them a little bit about making sure that African-American history is prominently displayed on some of their locations. They're going to get me for that, but hey. So that's next week, Trinity Metro. After that, it'll be Tarrant County College. And so we thank you again for joining us this Thursday from noon to 1 on the State of Your Business webinar. And I'm Daryl Brewer, and I'm with my co-host, Mr. Bob Ray Sanders. And we'll see you next week. God says the same. Bye now.
Bye.